This week in Nerf, Toys R Us is bankrupt, full envelopment flywheels, and snap-on afterburners. I'm Jangular, and this is your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. Jumping right on in, the biggest topic of the week, that is Toys R Us filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Now, this has been something that people have been hearing rumors about for a little while, and this week we did confirmation that they are in fact filing for it. Now, they are something like $5 billion, excuse me, that's with a B, not an M, a B, $5 billion in debt. So apparently this is going to go towards restructuring and kind of setting things up so that they can pay off their debt accordingly and hopefully get things as situated as they need to be. But we don't know yet if there's going to be any stores possibly being closed as they restructure, anything that's going to be liquidated or anything like that. So that's, some people are looking forward to that potentially for some deals. Some people are dreading it because Toys R Us may be their only local place to get Nerf blasters depending on where you're located. Now, one of the big things, couple of big things actually that have been talked about for this is that Toys R Us over the last few years has fallen behind in the online marketing realm. They've been losing out to Amazon and Walmart especially, so people are hoping that with this restructuring or the bankruptcy protection and kind of things changing potentially for Toys R Us, they will be able to fix and adjust their online presence to compete against some of those other names and earn a little bit more in that area for those that aren't near their brick and mortar locations. I personally hope they don't go completely out of business. I hope this restructuring or bankruptcy protection rather fixes or eases their issues and allows them to get back to where they need to be. This is an interesting time for them to be doing this because we are coming up on the holiday season, which is when Toys R Us, I believe, made 40% of their sales last year, is what some articles are saying. I'll have a link to at least one article down below about all of this for you, those of you to check out and maybe research on your own if you would like. Now, it is important to note that this bankruptcy protection only affects Toys R Us in the US and Canada. Toys R Us overseas or in other countries is owned and operated by different owners. So you are not affected in other regions. It is just primarily the US and Canada right now. That is important to note, important to differentiate for those of you that may be overseas and may be concerned about this. And this is news to me. Well, don't worry about it. It's not affecting you just here stateside and in Canada. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely unfortunate. There's a lot of brick and mortar stores that have been having issues with the rise of online selling through Amazon, Walmart, and the other big names. So if you can't keep up, then you're going to have problems with your business. So hopefully Toys R Us can kind of get things squared away and fixed and situated, and they will be able to continue doing business because Toys R Us they're iconic, you know, and there's articles that have been written saying companies like Hasbro and Mattel simply won't let Toys R Us fail because they are so important as their brick and mortar location to sell vast amounts of their lines that, you know, Hasbro and Mattel is two of the biggest toy companies behind Lego. You know, they want those dedicated toy stores to sell their products. So hopefully, you know, hopefully they won't go away. I know Toys R Us, it's just iconic. So I really hope they are able to get everything situated and fixed, and they will start making money rather than losing money, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Hopefully everything gets fixed though, because yeah, I don't want to see them go away. But moving on, let's talk about Open Flywheel Project. Now, we just talked about Open Flywheel Project and their Morpheus cages, or their hybrid cages, is what they are being called, the Morpheus Cage, with that hybrid printed and then metal barrel put inside of it. This is something entirely different. This is something that was shared on Discord by Open Flywheel Project, and this is, look at that envelopment. Oh my goodness, it's so sweet. This is near full envelopment flywheels with a special flywheel cage that they have been developing, and oh, it looks so good. It looks so, when they shared the pictures, I just was like, oh. It's to me, envelopment on the wheels and whatnot, I think is a very interesting aspect of flywheel cages and flywheels themselves, and I think it's something that definitely deserves exploration, as they have been doing, and we've been seeing more and more concave wheels being used and tried out, and I think it's very interesting, and it's an aspect that I'm glad is being searched into and developed, and this is just another step in that process. I think it was said something along the lines of like 99% envelopment, which is absurd. The details are limited currently because these are just prototypes and alpha tests and just images to share, to tease, to get us excited. And well, I'm excited about this. This is going to be a super high performance cage instead of flywheels, so it's going to be going for that you know, critical mass kind of thing. It's not going to be like the hybrid cages that are, you know, you can get them in any kind of crush. This is going to be one set specific diameter and cage and everything, and you go with that, and it's basically going beast mode, is my understanding of it. Which, if you want that super high end, then this may be your way to go when it comes out. I'm certainly looking forward to it because I think it's super interesting looking, and it is very important to note that these wheels are going to be specifically made for this cage. They're not going to work with other Open Flywheel project cages, which may be a bit of a bummer, but is still interesting. It's still another product that kind of gives the line more width and more reach to customers that want different varieties of things. So I think that's super interesting, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. So now, next up, Blaster Forge hit us up on Reddit with a post sharing some images of a snap-on Afterburner system for one of their kits, and it looks sweet. Oh, it looks so good. The aesthetics on this kit just look really nice, and when some pictures were shared of the printed, I got in contact with Blaster Forge recently and, you know, talked to them, see if, you know, they'd printed out and started testing things, and they actually just today shared a video on Instagram, which I'll share a link to as well, along with the Reddit post and images and all of that, of the Afterburner kit snapping on. It snaps on through magnets, and this is, again, testing, alpha, prototypes, all of that. So they're going to be refining and adding more magnets and things like that to get to snap and really be secure, so you can run around, and if it taps something, it's not going to fall off. But it's so interesting to me because they've got Afterburners in a snap-on cage that you can put on top of their kit, their like cosmetic kit for the Strife, that looks fantastic on its own, but then you put this little teeny thing on the front of it. It doesn't look like it's big enough to have a flywheel cage or be a flywheel cage, but sure enough, there's the motors popping out of it and the flywheels in there, and it looks so cool, and the function is there, and it's just, I cannot wait to see the refined, finished product of this because it's so cool. I love this kind of innovation. We've seen some other Afterburner kits that you can put on, like the End Strike barrel attachments, which those are cool. This is more specific, but freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. I love the creativity in this hobby and the things that are going on with it. Just, oh, it's so well designed and so cool looking. And I cannot wait to see this thing in its final form. Now that is going to bring us to our mod of the week, and this is the blaster I wanted to share with you last week, and that comes to us from Laser Gadgets on YouTube, and this is the Hopscotch Pilgrim. Now those of you that played Destiny or played Destiny 1 may recognize this gun or blaster mod into one of the iconic Destiny guns, which is the Hopscotch Pilgrim. And this thing looks so cool. I mean, I saw the images pop up of this on Nerf Modders Welcome, and I just was like, oh, that's so clean looking. That is so good. I want it. I want it. It is awesome looking. So it's super cool. Now, this is primarily a cosmetic mod. The internals really didn't seem to be touched too much, so it's not really a high performance blaster, but it really looks more like of a display piece to me, something you bring out that, you know, I almost wouldn't want to run it at a war because I'd be afraid if I fell or dinged it against something, you know, while it is very solidly built, I'd be afraid of like messing things up on it because it's just so, it's so cool looking. I don't know. I'm torn both ways, but Very interesting, the components used and the parts used and everything. There is a video build log done that is on the Laser Gadgets channel that is going to be linked down below. It is super cool. Recommend watching it. I did not expect it to be made out of what it's made out of. So that was really cool to see, and I definitely recommend go checking that out. Thanks for letting me share that. Now it's going to bring us to the video of the week, which, I mean, if one video isn't enough, let's do another video. And this comes just from Bradley Phillips. It is some long shot gameplay. Now, you know I love gameplay, and I like sharing with all of you as much as I can. And so I've been watching his channel for a while, and I enjoy seeing the different kinds of gameplay, the different areas played in, the different styles and speeds and paces and everything. And I love diversity, and this is another step in that in terms of playing with various kinds of blasters on the field. Now you'll notice in this video he is running his one of his beastly long shots, and he's actually single loading it. So it's not, you know, while it is magazine fed, he's actually priming, loading, you know, finishing his prime, aiming, shooting, because of balance issues, essentially. They want his blaster to be balanced because it's so powerful, because it's accurate, and because it uses short darts. It wants to be put on a level playing field with other players running other blasters. I think that's an interesting choice to kind of allow things of higher power to play with things of lower power and kind of have it all blend on the field adequately. And I think it's super interesting that they've chosen to do this, and it's something I hadn't really thought of, but I think it's pretty cool. So props to them for thinking of that, and this was fun to watch. A lot of his gameplay stuff with his long shots is fun to watch, just because, I mean, long shots are crazy when they're overhauled. They do some cool stuff. So I definitely recommend checking this out. The link will be right here, because we are now at the end of the video. Let me know what you thought of everything this week. Toys R Us filing for bankruptcy protection. Let me know what you thought about that. The OFP cages, the Blaster Forge snap on Afterburners, the Hopscotch Pilgrim mod, and of course, Bradley Phillips gameplay footage. Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from all of you. And if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button for more in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jangular, and I'll see you next time.